Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. As you can see, we are going to be doing an unboxing of a collector's edition I got from Project Retro Games. This is the Tales of Phantasia collector's edition, and it also comes with a special edition VHS of the OVA movies. Now, just to let you guys know that the game only got an official release on the Game Boy Advance in America, and that version is pretty much not very liked, I would say. But the PlayStation version is the superior version, and this box set is a fan's translation of that version in English. But more into that later. Let's take a look at what's inside here. Very excited to show you guys this. So opening this up, you automatically notice the PlayStation controller there. At least I did. I was like, okay, PlayStation controller, extra controller, cool. And this right here, I thought this was kind of like an art book or something like that, but it's actually an AV cord in there, and you'll find out why that's in there later. Now, next up is a certificate, tells you what comes inside the packaging. I glanced at this, and this pretty much tells you everything's in here, but I was surprised by the last item that you're going to see in here. So let's keep looking. Next up here is the long box jewel case. I love the long boxes. You know, I thought they were great back in the day. I would have preferred all PlayStation games be like this, but of course, it would have taken up a lot of room. So, jewel cases, I understand. Then you have the power cord here, and also original PlayStation controller. A lot of you guys probably haven't seen this controller in a long time. It's always DualShock. But this was the big surprise here, is that here is the PlayStation that comes with it. And also you can see the artwork is pressed on the cover of here. So I'll show you guys more of a close-up of that in a bit. But this is everything that comes in this packaging, and I am pretty impressed. This is really awesome. And I'm celebrating the Tales of anniversary with this collection, because Tales of Phantasia that just came out is all broken up, and you know, that's another video to talk about that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But this is something special right here, the first Tales of game. Now we take a closer look at the long box jewel case itself. So most people will probably be getting this version by itself if they don't get the collector's edition. I'll talk about that a little bit towards the end. But this case and the packaging for it is really authentic to original PlayStation games. I think a lot of people will really like this and appreciate this. And of course, with long boxes like this, you got to have that padding in to protect the game from falling out of the case. Now, when it comes to disc itself, these games are pressed with a machine. They're not burnt. So just want everybody to know that. I talked about this on the channel before. Then, of course, the manual itself, which is the cover art as well. I wanted to ask you guys, did you like that back in the day, how PlayStation games used their instruction manuals as a cover for the game itself? I wasn't really too much of a fan of it. You know, of course I accepted it, but I much preferred how a lot of the PAL PS1 games would have a cover art itself separate from the manual. Now, this manual itself is very well done. Lots of cool art in here, lots of instruction on story, characters. I would prefer that it was laminated though, but still I know that could be more expensive, so it's definitely good the way it is. I'm not sure if a lot of people knew that there was an OVA animation for Tales of Phantasia. I think these were released to coincide with the PlayStation's original release, and Project Retro Games decided to put this on a VHS with like DVD quality, so pretty impressive. Now, packaging is really good here, as you can see here, very professional looking. Now, opening this up, you get 2 VHS tapes with 2 episodes each. The OVA was only 4 episodes. That kind of reminds me of how back in the day, like when Dragon Ball Z was released on VHS, and they used to have like 2 to 3 episodes on there. That was like barely, they could have put a lot more on there, but they always cheap this out. But of course, I think with VHS, the more episodes you put on a VHS, the lower the quality would be. I can't really remember how it would go with VHS tapes. But real quick, wanted to try out the VHS for you guys, so you guys can see a little bit of the quality that you'll be getting if you decide to pick these up. It looked good on my end. I'm not sure how it's looking to you guys on this camera, but obviously I'm recording a VHS tape, so take that with a grain of salt. But from what I'm seeing, it looks good. But I don't want to leave you guys hanging with that quality. Here is the true quality of the VHS tapes you'll be getting if you decide to pick this up. And of course, after seeing the PS1 system, you know, with the artwork pressed on, I had to hook up my old school PS1 monitor to it just to kind of see how it looked. So earlier in the video, I talked about how this is a fan English translation of the game. There's 2 of them. The Gemini version is the older one, and the Phantasia one is the newest one. This version of the game is the Phantasia version, which pretty much has brighter text that's easier to see. Now going back to hooking up the PS1 screen here, as you can see, everything's hooked up nice and neat. And now I'm gonna turn it on. First, I'll give you a little closer look at the disc real fast. You can see that going inside the system. And one thing I was excited to hear right now was the PlayStation boot up screen. That is so nostalgic, man. There is nothing like it, seriously. I don't want to show you guys too much more over the game screen, but you know, I do want to talk about a little bit of the gameplay with this game. So I found out about Tales of Phantasia when I was in Korea, and I bought a copy of it at the electronic market. Unfortunately, the game was only in Japanese, but I didn't care because I just wanted to see how the game was, and I love the animated intro they added to the game. Now, I can't really show it to you because I'll get copyrighted because of the song, but it's very well put together. And this game originally came out on the Super Nintendo first, and then it came out with the PS1 version. The Super Nintendo version is a good version, but the problem with that one is that there's too many encounter rates. I mean, the encounter rate in that game is insane, so that might turn a lot of people off from it. The Game Boy Advance version, I really don't think I need to go over why people shouldn't get that version of the game. I think there's a PSP version of this game that might be the superior one, but still, I think the PlayStation 1 is pretty much one of the top ones you should get of this game. Now, story and gameplay, I don't want to go over too much of the story, but I do think it's well done for its time. For the Tales of series, it's definitely a great beginning. Obviously, the newer Tales games had kind of advanced the way they tell their storytelling. Now there's the gameplay. This is a action RPG, and the last Tales game that had like a combat like this was actually, I believe, it was Tales of Legendia. That's actually one of my favorite Tales games. Even though the gameplay may seem a little bit simplistic, I could assure you, once you get other characters and more spells and moves, this game really turns it up. Definitely a lot of fun. Alright, so that's going to do it for this video. If you guys want to reach out to Project Retro Games, I will leave a link in the description on how you could contact them with any questions you might have. And yeah, that's all I pretty much got for you guys. This is a really cool collection, and I think they really did an outstanding job on this. But anyways, guys, that's all I got. Radical Reggie, and I will see you all later.